Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's time. Oh, is that the last bus? I think it is. For more workers and resources, now in 1935. As far as I can tell, everything's more or less operating functionally. Vehicles are getting, or have been all repaired. How nice. The second clothing factory is finally coming online, which means I can just remove all connections here. All buses should necessarily drop people off wherever the hell they're needed, including to clothing factory number 2. These are actually getting close to full, so this is very much needed. And additional clothes will be delightful. We are struggling on money, but not too bad. It's mostly just trying to keep our expenses under control. Unfortunately, crime is rising and government loyalty is dropping, which means we're out of time. Y'all are walking to church, right? God, I hope so. Alright. I think for the most part I have set every building. I'm going to just do a visual verification as I go through that all workers outside CO are forbidden. Oh, this one just not my connection, so fair enough. 0, continue. Oh, I saw that. Oh no. They're waking up. Don't do that. Stay nice and asleep right now. Oh. Continue. Still finding more that need to be done. You're good to continue. I think. Okay, that's there. There we go. Continue. Continue. Nope. No workers outside CO. We're getting there. Looks like yous need your footpath. Continue. We're getting there. Well. Because that's CO. Continue. I also put in this brand spanking new bus stop that we will also be needing if we want to ferry additional people to our industrial sector. Alright. I think that's most of it. Gosh, I hope so. Okay. I have forgotten one piece, which is also that these pipes need to be continued. And also, I might have to actually hook up the sewage switch worth a damn. Continue. Missed that one. Okay, just want to check. You're good. You also continue. And bit by bit, we have to go through all of these damned bull pipes. Did I ever? Yeah, okay, I can see the dirt path there, just barely. There. Alright, So that's like the entire system there. With, of course, the exception of this, but that's also not a massive shock either. There we go. Have that hooked in. Alright. And we unleash the construction offices. The city... Oh, fuck me. Not very contagious and will not spread easily, and we have no idea how long it will last. Well, that's good. Could be much worse. Alright. How are our exports doing? Exports are climbing. Like, we are in the black, or the green. And that is with, like, inviting foreign manpower for construction. And also all the imports that come with that. Speaking of which, I have some work I need to do. Yes. Or... I'm not sure why I have this divider there. I'm sure it made sense at some point in my head. As if I needed a priority switch for it somehow. Oh yeah, that was so I could install a potential export line. That's right. Yes. No, that does make tons of sense. Smart job, me. I mean, I recognize my own genius in the moments. I think I recognized it in that moment. But then I come back, you know, days later, and I'm like, who the fuck made this? What are these stupid decisions? Yes, I do program computers. How did you know? I think there's a third one, yeah. I'll try and also bring it along here. There we go. Okay. Continue. Yeah, this is one of the ones that gave me some trouble, as you can tell by the fact it's actually partially built. There we go. Continue. Alright, so the entire city of Lubin needs to be built. I am likely going to have to take out a loan for this. I'm fine with that. I don't really mind. Alright, the switch is on. Running. Continue construction on. Do I do that? I don't. I cancel all that. And suspend the construction. I cut the workers here. By doing that, that's going to focus more workers into this bus platform. I have continued to expand the bus line to meet demand, by the way. We are currently up to, I think, yeah, 10 buses on this line. It turns out that, you know, as I added a couple hundred new people, that were pretty much all shunted into here because, you know, everything's working. There is demand for 10 buses worth of people. And, no. It's fine. Oh, yeah. Now we have all that extra work going and producing. I'm worried about citizen loyalty. We'll try and do our best. I think the only way we can really get our grip on it is getting crime and punishment set up, though. The police, we'll get a couple police stations, we'll have the courthouse, we'll have the prison. The whole 9 yards. We'll need a tech office to do, you know, garbage collection still here. But otherwise, yeah, this is good. This is, in fact, good. I had to put a second coal truck on this, hilariously. Because it turned out somewhere around January I was getting notices about, you know, this place being too cold. Speaking of which, we're going to need a new heating plant for Lubin. This one operates at 80% sometimes, it seems like. The problem is I have no idea with heating plants. It doesn't make any sense that it operates at 90% and both 18 degrees and negative like 20. So I'm uncertain. I will look into it though. Probably end up putting like a heating plant here and just saying a heat exchanger though. That might not be a terrible idea. Alright. For now, though, everyone's just kind of rushing. Oh, God. How are we doing? So, each train loads about 10 grand or something, right? So, currently we're holding about 3 exports per month by the looks of it. 2 to 3. Depends on things, I suppose. I have a feeling that the February export actually got cut off, because I don't know how you get 25 and then 35. But if it exported around the end of the month, then it got like weirdly split. That's my best guess. Or maybe I just exported a boatload of hazard waste or something, I don't know. Yeah. Over 10,000 rubles, good. Yeah. Once we get the second bus line up here as well, that should also start, helping keep the worker count high. Yeah, we're getting a lot of crime though. 2% is one of those things where it seems like not a lot, but it's actually critical. You know? It is critical. Yeah, all of our construction vehicles are out and about. It's gonna just have to be build this all as quickly as possible. And hope for the damn best, I guess. At least we seem to have the economy for it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I could buy that would be of assistance here. More construction vehicles are probably always welcome. So, let's maybe do that. Yeah, we can get the YA 12D opens, which are very nice. We get like 5 of those. God, that was like half of my remaining money. Do we have a better concrete mixer? Hell yeah, we do. Okay. So I'm going to call up a boatload more construction vehicles to try and speed up the process at which we can get Lubin online. Because we are going to need it. And quickly. Alright. Happiness is at least holding steady above 70 in most of these buildings, which seems good. 80% in the good flats. Yeah. Culture and German's been slowly ticking up. But yeah, we need to get crime under control. And quickly. We will do so. I hope. Probably have to take out a loan to do it. Like I said, I'm fine with that. It's not really a big deal. 87,000 vehicle imports. Now that I have all these new vehicles as well, there's no way we're going to maintain a positive cash flow because I'm going to be importing much more construction materials on a monthly basis. We'll also need to probably set up a distribution office. I'm just thinking aloud here. I do have the ability to build the non-free ones now too. Although I still have another free one. Technically speaking, I think the best place to put distribution offices is pretty much always near the border. So, we will. Because then that's where they're picking up stuff, let's be real here. I could move to not import clothes. And instead purchase them locally, which would be a wise decision. So let's look into that, shall we? That's the oil one. That's the one I set up for the vehicle repair station. Presumably I have a distribution office somewhere else as well. I've long since forgotten where I put it though. Which doesn't shock me too much. Let's see. I think if I go to the shopping center, say that, yeah, okay, right. Distribution office. Ah, here it is. Ah, yes. Somehow I missed it next to all the others. Weird. Alright, well, that's fine. Okay. So, we can load from this warehouse. Specifically, I want you to load clothes. By default, it will always seek to... Although I doubt these clothes are ever going to pile up enough for them to load it, but we'll see. Yeah. It's probably fine. 78 tons of clothes. I wish. Alright. Bam. As well check. Yeah, 1,300 seems about right. 1,000 workers. So Lubin is not awake. Yet. I basically just need to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't end up like way over 1,000. If it does, it means I screwed up somewhere, and oh, look at that. Missed a building. Yeah. Construct that. Yeah. Good. Yeah, there's a lot to build. So, I wish my construction offices luck. And through the magic of time skips, I cast Constructo Instantaneo. And voila! Everything is mostly built now. It only took like a year, actually not too bad. Bought some extra vehicles. And shockingly, we did not have to take out a loan. We've just been making money. It's great. Population growth, we're definitely having some problems on though. Things are not great. I've left the Tech University unconstructed for the time being. Apparently, well, no. That's on low priority, I should say. There's still a few things left to construct, mainly the ship pipe. But it'll get there eventually. Alright. As well as this clinic and this carousel. But, work. Nonetheless, with most of this now done, I think it's about time we get to work. So, for the distribution office, let's see here. We're gonna need, I think, just a pair of covered hulls. We do have the 12D covered. It's pretty good. It can do 5.5 tons of food. So we'll get a couple of those. Like, send just a refrigerator truck there at all times. I think kind of the same for the meat here. Yeah. That makes the most sense. That makes the most sense. So I can't select more destination buildings. Try and keep it above like 70, that'll be fine. Load at the customs house. Whatever you need. Then I need a pair of meat trucks. Refrigeration. Yeah, I'll get a couple of rooster bolts. Let's go. But yeah, it took a year, but we've got the town kind of built and ready to go. Almost. It's time to start priming our pumps, so to speak. Take this cheaper and better car. Okay. I do need a covered hull. Yeah, I guess we'll get the 12B covered there. To hold over the water treatment plant, make sure it gets its chemicals. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Good stuff. So this should start getting stocked at some point. Last little bits of construction are underway. Managed to get most of the friggin' concrete on site there. That's good. The shit pipe is slowly but steadily getting built, halfway. The sewage discharge is one more truckload of workers out. Completion. Alright. There's one other thing I'm going to need to construct, though. And that's a police station over here. I'll make sure to get that done. I'm going to assume I have a free excavator. Yeah. But yeah, that'll get done fairly quickly, I think. Hopefully. I don't know, there's stuff taking sweet, sweet time over here. Last little bits. But yeah, we're starting to see stuff arrive. Alright. So, yeah, 12D is going to be our water treatment. And they're always wait until unloaded. Go. You will do the shopping center, wait until unloaded. You will do the prison. Wait until unloaded. Go. Alright, that should be fine. All around. Nope. My power is flowing, so the meat won't spoil or anything. We have the ship pipe and the discharge to finish the sewage network, and I think just that one pumping station to finish the water network. The power network is up. Alright, with that in mind, yeah, you know, I could use a free technical office, sure. I think I'd also maybe just like to goddamn of that. There. Always want like secondary roads. Minimize our reliance on one road areas. Alright. Good. 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 The goal here is max out the Soviet propaganda. You know, reduce criminality by as much as possible. I do like only one. Well, no, let's make it like 1.5 tons. That should be fine. Okay, that means good to go. The autodrome is under construction. Okay, the water pump is good to go. Discharge is complete. So we are pretty much exclusively waiting on the shit pipe. Understandable. That one always does take a while. And then I think we can just kind of launch. Yeah. We got everything we need. This isn't technically necessary, hence why it's on low priority. I don't need a university to start up everything. Don't need one. It's a nice job, though. Alright. But yeah, once all that begins, things should start to heat up. Come on. 53, God, it's gonna just take forever. It still requires 322 tons of gravel, so yeah, it legitimately will take a while. It legitimately will. Alright. But we're almost through a lot of what we need. Well, of course, let's just get it out. Do I need to start doing, like, dumps for this distance? Probably. Okay. You know, why can there not be a dump that has 3 vehicles? I guess actually, do I use road stations for this? Is this a thing? Like, I put down the dump with the claw machine, right? Do I just use like a road vehicle loading station? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's how that would work. Because ideally I want to have a local drop-off point and then have a separate waste truck that just brings it to the border and back and forth. Because otherwise these guys are going to be making a lot of trips that generally are unnecessary, because a lot of the time they'll end up with, like, not full loads. So it is, I would say, worthwhile for me to do this. And road cargo station. I don't know. I think I probably only need 2. I was like, oh, what about one with more than 2? Well, combined they'll have a total of 4. So I think it's fine. Now here's the real question. Does literally anything around here use a large container? I don't think so. I don't think we actually have a single large container here. I'm trying to think any that would. The only thing that comes to mind might end up being the small heating plant that we eventually build. Shit. I have like 2.5 tons of clothes waiting. When it loads up. More than. Yeah, 3.5 tons almost. Yeah, production is climbing. We're doing pretty well for all of the shit that, like, we've built and haven't had to take any loans so far. Alright. Like, it says no garbage truck for big containers, which makes me think that we do have something that'll have a big container here. But I don't think we do. It should all just be small. Alright, that said, we do need to do something about the heating plant. Alright, what do I do about the heating plant? Is a good question. It's a very valid question. I think this is the correct place to put the heating plant. I don't know. Maybe somewhere like here, but I broke that. Maybe if hypothetically I had an asphalt footpath. I need like multiple... Well, I don't know. Part of the problem is I don't have pollution detectors or anything yet, so I can't see like how much this is like, or how much this one's doing, right? It's kind of tough. How's your guys' health? You know, being that far from the plant. Yeah, lifespan's 81, so like 400 meters or whatever this ended up being, 300. Actually, I should probably measure. You know? Wrong tool. How much did I do this? 330. That's not too bad. Okay. Let's try and match. So we'll take it from the central point here. To about here. Okay, let's see if an asphalt footpath is enough. Under pretty much any circumstances to get people able to walk here. Almost. I could cut through the middle there, but I do not want to. Because there is very high potential room for apartments and stuff, so... Okay, that gets us 2 major housing blocks that are likely able to contribute. Yeah. It'll have to do. You know? It'll have to do. Plus, I'm probably going to build more housing blocks here, so that should be fine. At which point, I just need to throw in the heat. Oh, shit, the autodrome's active. Kill it. Shit, pipe's going. Okay. But, like, arguably the heat isn't even needed yet, so we'll see. No. Kill that. Okay. I actually think we are ready to activate, though. I guess the problem is we do need the sewage still. Like, sewage will be a problem very quickly. And that pipe is still a ways off. So I'll make sure that's not a problem. Then ideally I can slap down a heat exchanger somewhere. Unfortunately, given how this is, I'm figuring I'm going to need 2. Which I suppose is fine. And there. Alright. Let's decrease this to 0. Demolish that. Decrease this to 0. Good. Because they don't need gravel roads for that last little bit. That's fine. Okay. Alright. And... good. Approved. Alright, the heating network is set for construction. Perfect. Loaded with clothes. Heading off. Might still need a loan. I don't know, though. I did just do a hell of a lot of... No, I mean, like, most of the stuff is pretty good. The pipes... I'm just worried heating pipes are expensive. It's fine. Like I said, the main problem is still needing this damn shit pipe to build. 1,000 more days. 1,000 more days. Nonetheless, I think it's a good place to call the episode. Lubin is just about online. Not bad. We're going to have this whole city going. That's going to get us crime and punishment. That's going to get us even more workers for the clothes and fabric factories. That's going to help a lot. Alright. We're just going to keep growing from there. Alright. So, I just want to double check. How much does a mine produce in terms of pollution? Coal mine specifically? Yeah, only 12 tons a year. Like, this is actually probably fine. I just have to, like, probably put the processors over here. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'll put the processors over here. Yeah, I'm just thinking. We got work to do. So much work to do. Alright. Still, thank you everyone for watching. I've been your host, Gilman, and we've expanded to a second town. Take care, folks. Have a good night.